And it's Tuesday, so we're working on back day today. Here we're starting off with some barbell rows. Good compound movement. Work on that back. Main thing to keep in mind here is to keep your form similar to a deadlift or a squat. You want to keep your back straight, look up as best you can, and you don't want to round your back and feel any loading on your lower back here. So you should definitely be feeling it in your back and your legs here like a squat. So otherwise, great exercise. I really like it. From there, we're going to move to weighted pull-ups. I think pull-ups are just a fantastic full body exercise. Really focus on the back, of course, but also your arms and your grip. After doing some weighted pull-ups, I'm gonna go drop down to an easier version. Just drop the weights, body weight pull-ups. Now we're gonna do as many reps as we can. And once we can't do any more, we're gonna add a resistance band to make it just a little bit easier and allow us to get a little bit more repetitions in. So this is all about getting the proper number of repetitions in for the movement, making sure that we're not doing too few, and making sure we're training that to failure. For body weight exercises, I think we can do generally a higher number of reps than heavy compound lifts. So after that, we're gonna do some hanging L sit or leg raises. After some static holds, working on the abs, the hip flexors from those leg raises, and then once we're done with the bodyweight version, we're gonna add the dumbbell to do some tucked leg lifts. These gonna work on our core, our and our hanging strength a little bit as well, so we're hanging on those rings. But leg raises are a good exercise for work on the core, so I like to add those in today. I see my grip really struggling, looking at my hands a lot. After that, we're going to do some scapular hangs, where we just hang, but we're going to lean back and engage and kind of pull back our shoulders, depress those scapula to get that engagement in. After that, we're going to do something similar, which is a straight arm scapular pull down. Here you want to lock your elbows and try to imagine breaking that bar in half to keep your form tight. You want to pull that bar straight down. You want to feel it in kind of your lats and your back, your sides, more than your triceps. So make sure to keep your form good there. It really makes a huge difference. Here we're going to do some face pulls. We're going to work on our rear delts as well as our back a little bit, but we want to lead with our hands and wrists instead of our elbows. So so we feel that even more in the rear delts, and then that extension above the head makes it even a little bit more difficult. So all that combines for a great workout for the rear delts and the shoulders and arms. So definitely try to incorporate that. After that, we're going to wrap up with some bicep exercises, starting with some chin-ups. After the chin-ups, we're going to go straight to a bicep curl with the resistance band. So what we're going to do is we're going to anchor the resistance band at a point by our feet, and then we're going to use a handle to do bicep curls. I use the stool here to just get a little bit of height to increase that resistance to start off, but once I can't do anymore, I drop down and crank out a few more reps to finish off the set. And that's going to finish off our back and bicep workout, and we're going to wrap up our day with a core routine like we usually do. Here we're going to do some resistance band pull downs. It's a bread and butter exercise. Been doing this for a while, and I'm seeing the strength on that exercise go up, which is really nice. Here we're just gonna do some lateral raises on the floor. I just add some dumbbells and some rice for weight. You can do it without weight. You can add more weight, whatever feels comfortable for you. I usually aim for a rep range of maybe 8 to 12. If I'm below there, maybe the weight's too heavy. If I'm doing like 15, 20 reps, maybe the weight's a little bit too low. So let's keep that in mind. After that, I'm gonna do a L-sit raise, and do a static hold on that position on the floor for about a minute. This is just me trying to work on my hip flexor strength to help with my leg raises and that kind of exercise. Definitely don't like this one. As I said before, you definitely feel a lot in your hip flexors, which is a pretty uncomfortable position. So I'm trying to get better at it. Doing these leg raises are pretty tough as well after we do those L-sit holds, because you definitely feel it in your legs, your hip flexors, kind of your upper leg there. But just do your best to keep your back flat to the mat as you can, and keep your form good for the exercise. Here, like I said, I really like this exercise. It definitely feels is a little bit lower intensity without the weight, and you're only having one leg extended at any given time. I think it's a great starting point. It feels really good. You definitely can feel your lower back. Really be mindful of that, and try to keep that as flat as you can, especially since this is a bit of a lower intensity version. But I like this one, and I'll incorporate this more in the future. After that, we're going to do some kneeling Pallof presses. This is quickly also becoming one of my favorites. I think it's a really great exercise. You definitely feel it quite a bit in your core, in your midsection when you're fighting that rotation. So I think it's a really great exercise, because you also it's like a rotational movement, which is something that is not as heavily implemented in a lot of compound exercises that are more well known, like the squat and even deadlift, or chest or bench press, which kind of more in one plane rather than rotational. So I think it's a great exercise.